We have a brand. New York has a brand. And when people see it, it means something. You know, when we go there, it's not, Kansas doesn't have a brand. When you go there, okay, you're from Kansas. No. Well, you know what? But New York has a brand.
Many months later.
True that some of the migrants are asking to go to Canada, and we're getting them a bus ticket?
An amazing partnership with Catholic Charities, who they have a history of being there for those in need. Those who are seeking to go somewhere else, not we're pushing or forcing. If they're seeking to go somewhere else, we are helping in the reticketing process. What we found that people had other destinations, but they were being compelled only to come to New York City, and we are assisting in interviewing those who seek to go somewhere else. Some want to go to Canada. Some wants to go to warmer states, and we are there for them as they continue to move on with their pursuit of this dream.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Eric Adams is a clown, okay? That guy is a certified clown, right? Eric Adams is getting embarrassed once again as his city, New York, that, you know, according to him, has a brand, apparently it's so bad, right? It's so bad that even the illegals don't want to be there. They don't want to stay there. And it doesn't seem like they're happy, despite the political stunts from Eric Adams to try to make it seem like, you know, he is down there sleeping with the illegals in the same conditions that they're sleeping in. Take a look.
Yeah, just woke up, spent the night here at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. Gonna go out and speak to some of the men, have something to eat. This was just a real good setting to bring people to as they transition. I want to thank the Assemblyman and Sham Barron, homeless advocate, for joining us. Really, coalescing with these men as, we do our part.
Yeah, so remember, Eric Adams and the Democrats were initially complaining, and they're really still complaining, about Texas and Arizona and red states sending migrants to the liberal cities, okay? Despite the fact that the liberal cities claim to be sanctuary cities. They love migrants, okay? They love illegal immigrants. Now, Eric Adams has tried his best to try to make a political show out of this by, accepting the illegals while at the same time complaining about them. But allegedly, again, he's trying his best to make New York City as hospitable as possible for the illegals, including putting some illegals up in posh hotel rooms, okay? And then eventually trying to move them to the Brooklyn terminal, where they're going to sleep in conditions that he was just sleeping in. We claim it was so great. However, the illegals apparently, they're spoiled because they are rejecting Eric Adams trying to kick them out of the hotels that they've been.
Migrants housed in a New York City hotel are now refusing to leave as the city tries to move them into a newly opened shelter. David Lee Miller is live here in Manhattan. He's got more on that for us. David Lee.
Sandra, at this hour, there is a standoff taking place between the migrants and New York City officials. You can take a look behind me and you can get a glimpse of what's taking place here just outside Hell's Kitchen neighborhood in Manhattan. A few dozen migrants living on the street say they will not move. All of them are single men who were told this weekend they had to leave their rooms at a West Side hotel in order to make room for migrants with families, including women and children. The plan was for all the single men to be relocated to a cruise line terminal in Brooklyn that has been set up as a temporary shelter. Many of the migrants say the terminal is not acceptable and want better quality housing. They are now not being allowed back into the hotel. A few dozen migrants remain there. They refuse to leave. Some holdouts were removed this afternoon. A number boarded buses taking them to that Brooklyn site, while just as many decided to camp outside on the street, outside the hotel. Now, New York City homeless outreach workers have tried and failed to convince the men that living on the street is not an option, although the migrants did agree to remove about a dozen or so tents. One of the migrants from the Dominican Republic, who said his name was Thomas Wilson, broke down in tears discussing his plight. He told me he came here to work and is not being treated humanely. He said the shelter is cold, uncomfortable, and does not have enough bathrooms. He says it's not far from the subway and that they lock the doors at 11 o'clock, which makes it difficult for him to keep a job. The mayor's office, for its part, issued a statement that reads in part, and I quote, "The facilities at Brooklyn Cruise Terminal will provide the same services as every other humanitarian relief center in the city, and the scheduled relocations to Brooklyn Cruise Terminal this weekend took place as planned. We remained in serious need of support from both our state and federal governments." So at this hour, it's not certain what's going to happen to the migrants who are living on the street. Temperatures right now hovering around 50 degrees. Later this week, they're expected to drop significantly into the 20s. These migrants simply do not have the clothing and the gear to withstand those type of temperatures. Meanwhile, Mayor Adams is saying that the city is overwhelmed by the sheer number of migrants, 46,000 since spring. The migrants, for their part, say they deserve better quality housing that the city argues it cannot afford.
Yeah, so imagine being so entitled, right, as an illegal immigrant, that you come over to somebody else's country, again, illegally, and you tell them that, hey, we demand hotel rooms, right? We don't like your migrant facilities, right? We don't like sleeping on cots. We don't like the little 3 meals that you're giving us per day. Apparently, some of these facilities in New York have like Xboxes and stuff like that, right? That's the ridiculous part about it. Eric Adams is treating the illegals better than he treats the homeless. However, the illegals have become kind of uppity, right? They become uppity. They said, we don't like this, okay? We want to stay in 3-4-star hotel rooms that probably cost what? $300, $400, $500 a night. That's what we want, okay? And you have to do it, right? You got to do it. We refuse to leave. However, that has created a problem for him at the New York taxpayers' expense.
In New York City, are they turning on the immigrants? Are they turning on Biden?
Well, they've already turned on Biden, and they're not happy with this mayor either. Remember, the property taxes just hit the mailboxes this week, and they're seeing their property taxes skyrocket to pay for what the mayor has created. Look, the border crisis was created by our president, but the crisis we're facing in New York City was created by our mayor. He is using a right to shelter law that was meant for U.S. citizens, homeless New Yorkers, and he's trying to apply it to citizens of other countries. It is unsustainable. It just can't continue like this. And only the mayor and the president, quite frankly, can reverse this mess. And it's very annoying that the president came to the city. He had time to do a fundraiser, right, for the Democrat National Committee, but he didn't have time to go see the crises that he created single-handedly.
Yeah, so amazing stuff. However, this problem may solve itself, right? Because the immigrants are so uppity now, right, that they've decided that New York City is not good enough for them and that they're going to move on to greener pastures, aka Canada. Okay, after drugs, homeless people make life unbearable. Yeah, I memean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was illegal, I wouldn't want to live on the streets of New York City either. Okay, that place is dangerous, right? It's a dangerous city to be in, especially if, you know, you're on the street, right? So let's read about this because I think this is a truly embarrassing situation for Eric Adams. Migrants are leaving New York City and headed north into Canada on taxpayer-funded buses, according to a new report from the New York Post. The Big Apple is the center of the migrant crisis on the East Coast after thousands of illegal immigrants have flooded the city, with some living in ritzy taxpayer-funded hotel rooms. But not all migrants are pleased with life in the city, telling the New York Post that they would rather accept free tickets for a ride north to Canada and better opportunities in the country with lower rates of homelessness and drug use. The military gave me and my family free bus tickets, one Venezuelan migrant told the New York Post. I am going to Canada for a better quality of life for my family, one migrant named Raymond Pena told the New York Post. Another migrant said he was kicked out of the Row Hotel near Times Square, after which he was sent to a homeless shelter in Brooklyn. A whistleblower at the Row Hotel released video and photos last month of illegal immigrants trashing the hotel and leaving good food out to rot. Yeah, these illegals have gotten uppity, boy. They something, boy. They spoil. Again, for these people that claim they starving, right? They come from these war-torn countries. Venezuela is so bad, it's terrible. They get over here to the United States and they become brand new. And they're like, we want to be in hotel rooms. They leaving leftovers, right? These immigrants are brand new, okay? They are brand new. Ain't it crazy how that works? Absolutely amazing. The entitlement is insane. Quote, the chaos that we see at the road today is caused by migrants being drunk, drinking all day, smoking marijuana, and consuming drugs, Felipe Rodriguez said. Oh, the Democrats said that this don't happen. This is not what they do, right? They don't do this. Okay, they're just over here seeking jobs and a better life. That's it. The whistleblower also said that the road was struggling with domestic violence among migrants, young people having sex in the stairs, and a fight between the migrant and the hotel security officer. Again, all things that the Democrats told the red states, hey, y'all deal with this and shut up. Okay, and if you complain about it, you're xenophobic, you're bigot, and you're racist, right? Again, the liberal cities are saying for themselves firsthand why illegals coming over here and we not knowing who they are, right? Anything about them is not a good thing, right? It's not a good thing. This is what they do. Manuel Roda, a migrant from Venezuela, told the New York Post that he was concerned about rampant drug use in New York City. A lot of Americans use drugs there. He said, I feel like Canada will be safer. It is much quieter than in America, he added. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has begged the White House to give aid on the migrant crisis. Quote, I'm extremely frustrated, Adams said in December. No, you should be begging the White House to close the border, right? To do more about the illegals coming to the country in the first place. He was referring to the nearly 21,000 migrants who have been bused to New York since last year. But the mayor's press office has simultaneously attempted to present itself as pro-migrant, with Adams' press secretary sharing that asylum seekers are also being provided with free round trips on a NYC ferry every day. Yeah, so they getting everything for free. Again, no wonder they so uppity, right? When you get everything for free, you know, your expectations go up. They demand more. Again, enough will never be enough. Okay, they don't seem too grateful, thankful to be here. So yeah, I mean, maybe you should just let them go to Canada, right? Let them go to Canada. Let Trudeau deal with the problem, right? Because he loves immigrants and stuff too, right? Let him deal with the problem. In fact, maybe Texas should start busing migrants to Canada, right? Bus them to Canada, okay, and see if the Canadians will take them in. Sorry, Canadian conservatives, right? I'm just saying, in America, we're full, right? We're full over here in America. I'm just saying, they got to go somewhere, right? They got to go somewhere. Allegedly, some of them don't want to be here, right? We're not good enough for them. So, hey, we got to send them over there to Canada. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. That's the reality. When you tell people to come to this country when, quite simply, we can't take in all these people, okay? We don't have the resources to you know, help all these people. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.